So, because of how tedious Endfield banner works, everyone agrees that free-to-play players should save 120 pulls before touching any banner. But what if I told you that doing just 30 pulls and abandoning hard PT could actually benefit you even more? That's exactly what I'm showing you in this video, a ridiculously unbelievable pulling strategy that helps you getting more 6-star units and more pulls, especially for free-to-play players. But just before we dive in, I'm going to assume you already know how the system works, and if you don't, you can go and watch my beta test video, as nothing has changed regarding how the banner works. Alright, now without further ado, let the magic begin! Alright, so we know soft PT starts at 80 pulls, and hard PT is at 120 pulls. But since the soft PT layout kicks in around 65 pulls, let's use 70 pulls on average to keep the math simple for this pulling strategy. Alright, so now if we follow the old standard rules of 720 pulls before touching any banner, in the worst case scenario, which actually happens fairly often, you will end up with 2 6-star units after losing 50-50, which is normal. However, if you're lucky to get your first 6-star before 45 pulls, you're now having a very good chance of getting 3 6-star units instead of 2, with the same 120 pulls, which massively benefits us. But since this is purely out to luck, and each pull only has 0.8% chance for a 6-star, you can't really force an early 6-star. Or can you? That's the strategy I'm going to show you, as we're going to make this happen every single time. To do this, first you have to invest exactly 30 pulls on the first banner, and then skip it completely. Yes, you heard that right, we're going to abandon the hard PT count, which sounds really stupid, right? And that's exactly how this works, because although the hard PT resets, your soft PT actually carries over, which guarantees a 6-star under 40 pulls at this point. Now see where this is going? This is exactly the same scenario I've just talked about, the perfect scenario we're aiming for. The same 120 pulls hard PT, but you get 2 soft PT instead of 1, which creates a scenario where you're guaranteed to benefit no matter how it plays out. Get lucky and win the first 50-50? That's always a win. Lose the first but win the second? You got the 6-star less than 120 pulls half PT. And in case where you get very unlucky and lose 50-50 twice, congratulations! You get 3 6-star units in 120 pulls instead of 2. And let's don't forget that even if you lose 50-50, you still has a chance to get other limited 6-star units from the previous banners too, not just the standard 6-star units. So yeah, no matter your luck, you always gain something from this strategy. But of course, compared to 720 pulls on a single banner, you do need to spend extra 30 pulls in earlier. And that's where the pulling milestone reward comes in, because spending 30 pulls on a banner actually gives you 10 pulls for free for this banner. Yes, although it doesn't count towards PT, free 10 pulls is still a free 10 pull, and you can actually get the featured 6-star from this, so it still benefits us. On the other hand, there's another milestone reward at 60 pulls, which gives you another 10 pulls for free for the next banner, and this time around it actually counts towards PT. So basically starting for the third banner, the cost of doing this is down to just 20 pulls, and that's not even counting the free 5 pulls you get for every single banner just by signing in, as well as another 5 pulls by trading in the store. So at the end of the day, except for the very first time, the cost of doing this strategy is just 10 pulls. 10 pulls for a chance for an extra 6-star? Hell yes! And you know what? That's not even the best of it just yet, because if you really want to push it, you can literally bring the cost down to 0, which is done by skipping multiple banners and using only the free 5 plus 5 pulls from each banner to slowly build out your PT. So if none of the new characters interests you, this strategy literally hands you a free 6-star just by changing the way you pull. And finally, on top of all the benefits I mentioned, you'll also end up with more weapon pulls thanks to this, since you're doing more pulls for the free tickets, as well as pulling more 6-star characters on average. So yeah, for free-to-play players who don't have enough pulls to guarantee every banner, this is honestly the best pulling strategy. Much more by the way, although this strategy requires micromanaging your pulls, it's actually more flexible than it sounds, as it can be easily adjusted to fit different situations and goals. For example, what if you actually get an early 6-star within just 30 pulls? Well, first of all, congrats! That's an extra 6-star right there, even better if you actually win the 50-50. And as for our plan, yes, even though your PT resets, you can just do another 30 pulls again to make it work, which also completes the 60 pull milestone at the same time, giving you free 10 pulls on the next banner. So at the end of the day for this situation, you're basically trading 20 pulls for an extra 6-star, which is an absolute win. On the other hand, if 2 characters you want show up right after another, this strategy actually still works, even though there's no banner to skip in between. All you need to do is invest 30 pulls into the same banner you did after the 120 pulls guarantee, and the soft PT will carry on to the next banner. That's all. That said, personally I don't recommend you to do this, because this 30 pulls is all coming from your own wallet, since you won't receive the free ticket twice on the same banner, meaning nothing to cover the cost. Besides, you might actually get an early start with this, and this time around, this could really be a loss, especially if you win the 50-50. So yeah, after all the consideration, I suggest you to change to the old strategy just for this once, and do a full 120 pulls on the next banner. That's what to do when pulling consecutive banners. So finally, in conclusion, if you're okay with skipping banners, this 30 pull PT building strategy is better than saving 120 pulls in almost every single way. And realistically speaking, free-to-play players won't have enough pulls to guarantee every banner anyway, so eventually you're going to have to skip some banners without any choice. And if that's the case, there's basically no reason not to use this strategy at all, as it gives you many more things for the cost of merely 10 pulls per 2 banners, maximizing the value of each pull you have. Anyway, that's my pulling strategy in Endfield, so if you think this strategy is a good idea, consider leaving a like, subscribe for more free-to-play focused Endfield content, and let me know in the comments your thoughts about this. Thanks for watching and wish you luck in the Endfield.